Rural Lifestyle, brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Hey, Chad.
What's going on, Brian?
Welcome to the oven.
So you finally convinced me to make a house call for you.
Well, we are at my house today. Looking at what used to be a nice lawn.
It was. I remember you talking about the greatest it's ever been.
Yes.
I remember those comments earlier.
And like I just said a minute ago, I have an even brown.
Yes, you do.
It's not patchy green here or there. I've got an even brown. So.
Right, you do. What we're finding is when you have these excessive heat like this, the lawns are going to go dormant. I mean, where do you go when it's 115? You're not sitting out there in the sunshine sunbathing. You're looking for a hole somewhere to get out of the heat. Your grass is doing the same thing. It's sacrificing its leaves because it's just wasting water right now, and it's trying to pull all the resources into that crown of the plant to stay alive.
And as we kind of walked through my yard a few minutes ago, and we were, if someone drove by and saw us, they would have thought we were crazy because we looked like we were pulling someone's hair.
We were pulling little samples out, kind of checking to see how the grass is composed. If it's still pretty rigid, firm, a good chance you've got live turf down there. It's just going to take a while to come back from dormancy. It'll bounce back when temperatures get cool. If it's just grinded down to powder, going right to the soil surface, that's not good news. We probably lost that.
Now, is there any in between there, Chad? Because parts of my lawn, I can grab a handful of stuff, but it's just old dead stuff.
You will find that within that, there are some that survived and some that didn't. You may just find a thinning out in that area with a little touch up of an overseed. You can be right back into shape without a dramatic renovation or, oh no, my whole yard's dead, I got to do the whole thing. Just touching up may be what you're in for.
And again, we want to remind everybody, this is not the time to try to have the greenest yard on the lawn, on the block. No,
it is okay to still water a little bit. That water does keep that crown alive and keeps it going. So, irrigation's okay. We want to just be thinking about, well, what's going on and what we're planning to do this fall, maybe to touch up whatever areas didn't survive the heat stress.
What about aerating? Is this the time of the year that you suggest or don't suggest?
I don't suggest it because it's already under stress. You want to aerate when that grass is at its pinnacle of growing, when it really feels like everything's going its way and it's growing and can recover from stress real quickly. Best time to aerate because you're not going to disrupt or injure the turf.
Well, I want to take a break and get in the shade for a minute. I feel like one of them.
Already starting to melt a little bit out here.
I feel like one of them dark-hided cattle. I feel like I need to start panning. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk about what we need to do to prepare for fall.
Very good. Sounds good. Thank you.
You're watching Ag AM in Kansas. We'll see you in just a minute.
Rural Lifestyle, brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Thanks for staying with us, and I have to tell you, thanks for staying with us. All right, I guess probably the question I hear all the time, and I see people out and about, is, God, they always say it can't get any worse. Yeah. But you say
it can get worse. I mean, when you have days where it's over 86, I think they said the average temperature for July was like 97 or some ridiculous high number like that. Whenever the temperature's over that, the plants are they cannot make food. I mean, these cool season lawns are stressed to the max when that's occurring, and they're not able to just do the basic things like make food, store food, and survive. And it's the extended time frame over that makes a difference. If you have a week here and there where it cools down, it make a little food, kind of put a little money in the bank, so to speak, that's a good thing. If it continues to go as it is now, that can get worse. We're just day after day in these 100-degree heats. It's getting worse.
We're at the end of August, and what everybody calls the dog days of summer, and believe me, it's been the dog days of summer. But are we in better shape this year than we were last?
Yeah, Brian, I think we are in better shape. The major reason we are is when we look at last year, we had a lot of frequent rainfall, a lot of cool temperatures late into the year, maybe a little hot streak there in June, but that was it. And temperature stayed below the 90s, in the upper 80s almost, and rained all the time. And then all of a sudden it just stopped raining and went to 110. That sudden change shocks the plant, and you have this nice shallow root system that's been loving this easy life all this time, and then just gets cooked.
Right.
Whereas in this time, we had a lot of time for these plants to harden off. They kind of gradually went from a cool spring to to drier, and still got rain about every week, maybe never really went 2 weeks without some moisture. So there's I have more high hopes for that than a sudden change.
And looking, you know, talking about at least my yard from last year,
yeah.
And you know, brome's a pretty hardy grass.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of it last year before I got to the cool season over seeding in the fall. So yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying. Mine is holding on a little better this year.
Yeah, I think what you'll notice is that these lawns will have sections of them, usually with the poorest soil or closest to the curb, or there's some underlying soil condition, a pocket of sand or an old concrete chunk or dog pee, something out there that caused additional stress so it didn't survive. We'll be touching up those areas, but I don't know if we're gonna have to massively replant.
What do we need to do to prepare for the fall? And we'll come back and show everybody, sure, probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, what they should be doing. But at the end of August, what should we be doing to prepare? If
we got water, go evaluate the yard. If the cooler temperatures are here by the time this airs, you know, you can kind of look and evaluate, is something coming back? Figure out about square footage wise how much didn't come back, estimate that so you have a number to come in and know how much seed you need to buy. You'll probably fertilize the whole yard and then see what happens. You know, see what germinates and see where you can go from there. And we'll come back. We'll be back probably mid-September, don't you think is about the time? We'll, Chad and I will get back together and we'll kind of overseed maybe out the test plot. Yeah, we've got another section to do. Yeah. So thank you for joining me. Appreciate it very much. You're very welcome. Yep. Hey, I wanted to thank the people who came up and saw me over the past couple of weeks. Brian Trinich, Jimmy Ober, Dave Sensala, and Jim White. Thank you all for watching the show. So I do appreciate your support. You've been watching Ag AM in Kansas from my front yard. Your front yard, yeah. And we'll see you all real soon.